It is day 7 of my fruit fast. I'm getting real tired of eating cantaloupe. And other things, such as pineapple and watermelon and avocados. Today I had a craving for salt, for meat, particularly steak, as well as for eggs. And normally, I might listen to my body. And actually hear that, like, oh, this is what the body needs. Therefore, I will offer it that nourishment. But I'm committed to 40 days and 40 nights. In a state akin to Christ in the desert. Now, he didn't eat anything, supposedly. But nevertheless, it's a process of ritualistic purification. And it is having tremendous effects upon my life. Already, only 7 days in. Now, this video is a bit more of a mundane share, perhaps, compared to other ones where I get into the depths. And maybe I will anyway. What I wanted to talk about was today's experience with my lack of boundaries. Already, as a person, as a human being, eating regularly in the world, I struggle with boundaries. With energetic boundaries, and with just like setting boundaries, expectations, rules, whatever other kinds of boundaries we need to operate in life, in the day-to-day, but especially energetic boundaries. I walk into a space and I can just feel whatever the energy is, and like any energy that doesn't belong to me, somehow it like finds its way into my being, and then I'm like, Now, when I've only eaten fruit for 7 days, that lack of boundaries is amplified to the absolute max. So that 2 things happened today. There's this town that I live near called San Marcos, which is a well-known hippie town. It's got something called the Hippie Highway, which means that there's a bunch of new age energy there. There's a bunch of crystals. There's a bunch of new age hippies. There's a bunch of energy just flowing everywhere. And a lot of people who are definitely not in charge of their bodies. Like, I look into their eyes and I'm like, that's not a human in there. There's something else going on there. Or maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just like deep protection mechanisms. But it sure seems to me like there's something else operating some of these vessels. whether it be parasites in the gut, whether it be certain drugs that people have taken, which has rewired and invited certain creatures into their beings. It doesn't seem like they're in charge. Anyway, I'm walking through that town, into the shops, into the restaurants, into the fruit stores, and my energy field can just pick up on everything. And since it's a hub of all this stuff that's going on, I can feel it all in my being, and I'm just like, get me the fuck out of here. Another place in which my lack of boundaries had an impact today was during a Zoom meeting. Perhaps one of you brothers is watching the video. Maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't. May there be medicine in each case. With a group of men where we are doing semen retention work and working on the esoteric elements of semen retention and just kind of sharing one another's journeys. And I was on that call with several of these men, and as some of them were speaking, I began to feel their energy. And now we're not in the same physical space. We are miles and miles apart, but we are sharing the energetic Zoom space or Discord. And I realized after some time of like listening, okay, this feels a little off, that I'm like taking on a bunch of energy that I don't have the space to take on right now, that I don't have a boundary against right now. And so I had to leave the call because now I was like, oh, whoa. Because this is deep work, semen retention and lust and overcoming these things. It's like some of the deepest work that humanity has known throughout life. This infinite procreative energy and all of the forces that try to come and impose themselves upon that. Pornography, sexuality, and marketing. All of this repressed and misguided sexuality throughout all of our teenage years into our adulthood. Like the id impulse. It's like such a gigantic force. Libido. So the lesson from today is to get better at having boundaries, at speaking and feeling and somatically exuding energetic boundaries so that I can walk through the world protected, and I can be in workshop spaces, in deep inner workspaces where I don't have to take on energy that doesn't belong to me. One of the solutions that I often have with this is to do my prayer and my writing and my incantations and just my somatic, linguistic, breath, prayer, freedom alignment within my being, practices that make me feel luminous and bright and alive, so that my light shines so brightly that I am unaffected by anything around me. And actually, a couple days ago, I wasn't a full 7 days into the fruit fast. I was like 4 days, and I went into the busiest town in this area, and I went to the fruit market, and I was in such a space where I had prayed myself into protection. And so I walked through all this weird, chaotic energy, some of it being like very desperation, scarcity patterns, like hungry ghost energy directed my way, and me like I hope this video is entertaining, at least, if not helpful in some medicinal way, because I just realized I am rambling. Yeah. Which then leads me to ponder, why were my boundaries so especially weak today? It seems to me there are two things. I began to run out of fruit for the day, and the fruit that I did have was kind of a few days old and not so great, so I didn't need as much, and so I was just like hungry and on an empty stomach. Empty stomach, Carl, boundaries, non-existent. I don't know why that is. Food is grounding. And this watermelon here seems to have pumped energy from the ground into its being, so that when I eat it, I'm eating a bit of the earth, and then I'm feeling connected with the earth. That's especially true with vegetables that grow in the ground, such as carrots and sweet potatoes, which is part of why I was craving sweet potatoes earlier. Another thing that happened today, which left me susceptible to poor boundaries, was that this morning I went to check some Instagram messages, and it turned into some Instagram scrolling, and it turned into watching a few YouTube videos, and it turned into spending a lot more time on my phone than I wanted to, and than I should have. Which actually, interestingly, given that I did not have my own proper boundary with my phone to say, I am going to do messages, and that is it, and then done with phone for a little bit. After realizing, oh shit, I've been on my phone for 2 hours, I gotta put it down. I did that. And then, this is really interesting and vulnerable, and I'm gonna share it anyway. Because the phone thing is something that I've struggled with for quite some time, and I'm trying to witness every experience as medicine and healing. So after putting the phone down, doing some meditation and some prayer and some grounding in the grass and connecting with the earth, I then found myself walking almost automatically, autonomically, habitually back to the place where I keep my phone, as though, like purely unconsciously, my body was like, okay, must go to phone now. And I caught myself in that. And I was like, hold on. I did not consciously choose this. My body just like a zombie just started going towards the phone. Like, must open Instagram and see what is on there. And I caught that. And before I took the phone, I was like, hold on, why am I grabbing my phone? There's no intention here. There's no consciousness here. I'm just not going to grab it. Now I'm going to sit with the feelings inside of my body. And I'm going to feel. What is trying to guide me to use my phone right now? It seems to be this pressure in the back of my head. Right here. I believe right here are the dopamine centers. However the fucking science works. Short-term, instant gratification. And I like felt this numbness. There's some part of me that's like, need cheap dopamine. And then I tried to trace it into my body. Like, okay, what is this actually trying to fill? Because I don't actually want this cheap dopamine. Now I'm pointing here. It doesn't make me feel good. I didn't have any intention with my phone. What do I want? I want to feel good. I want to feel safe. And I want to feel rest. Safety, feeling good, aka pleasure, and rest. 3 things throughout my life that I have sought within the screen. This is a far deeper conversation, and I'm not getting into it right this moment. What I will say is that I realized, okay, if I'm seeking safety, if I'm seeking goodness, feeling good, if I'm seeking rest, can I find these things outside of the phone right now? Yeah. What does breathing feel like? That's relaxing. That is rest. That rest feels safe. And it feels good. I'm going to breathe again. I'm going to feel into my body more deeply with my breath. And I did that. And I breathed. And I followed the breaths through the tensions in my body, which might have been uncomfortable. And almost instantly, in the conscious choice of recognizing that unconscious pattern, saying no to it, and then feeling my way through it, I felt this tremendous sense of relief pour over my body, like engulf me, as if like, oh, I'm allowed to just be. And being innately, in and of itself, in the present moment, feels good, feels safe, and feels restful. Like this watermelon. plants are always in a state of innate grace, rest, and safety. The trees, just pillars of I am. Now, this is funny. I don't know how I got this far into this video. I guess I will wrap this up because this light is getting too bright for my eyes. Boundaries against light that is not true from the sun. I forgot what I was going to say. Yes. In conclusion, when you find yourself in places where your boundaries or lack thereof bring misfortune, difficulty, discomfort, weird energies, automatic impulsive behaviors, unconscious behaviors, things that don't necessarily feel good, safe, restful, peaceful, true. When you experience some such things and you navigate, let's call them some of the shadows of life, you still have the power to choose to interact with the effects that these things have had upon your being, upon your body, upon your mind, upon your soul, upon your breath. And then work and feel your way through it. Sit with the discomfort. Breathe into the discomfort. Feel the discomfort. And then try to deepen into the root of its being and trace it throughout your body. And don't judge. Don't try to analyze. Don't try to understand. Simply observe. And then let it pass. And watch it transform into the communication which your body is actually trying to express to you. And let that energy achieve some kind of catharsis. And when you do that, you heal. And you shed a layer of something that no longer serves. Unless you want to hold on to it. Like I hold on to this watermelon. I'm going to end the video there because I'm very tired of this light. I'm calling forth the light of the stars and the light of the sun to shine, and the light of your soul to shine from deep within and illuminate the world, everywhere. Okay. Goodbye. Good night. Good day.